I'm Catherine Ross, and I'm here live from the NYSE with Jim Cramer. Jim, let's dive into the markets. Yesterday afternoon, you wrote in Real Money that you thought that the market needs a recharge.
Yeah, I mean, look, what's moving up here? Well, Procter's been moving up the whole time. Walmart's been moving up. These are just classic blue chips. The rest of the market's trying to find its footing. They want to figure out the average. If I had the mind of the market, is, well, look, I know I got the Fed maybe bail me out if things go down. I worry about the reason why, which would be tariffs. On my conference call today for Action Alerts, I talk about the macro and how it impacts the micro. When you get tariffs, I mean, you got to immediately cut numbers, say, for retailers, right? But not for Walmart because they have scale. So you see Walmart go up. When you have tariffs, you have to cut numbers for some of the smaller companies, say, in packaged goods. But not Procter, that goes up. So you're having winners and losers determined about whether tariffs are going to be put on and whether the Fed is going to be there for the put. So that's a great uncertainty. I did a lot of work on the notion that we could be in stasis for a while, just stasis, and that may not be enough for people. There's just too many people who are looking for something for the market that it can't give you right now, which is just unprecedented upside. And the reason it can't is because it gave it to you last week. And we are in a greedy market. People are saying, look, I want more now, and I want it, and I want American Express to go to 125, and I want Walmart to go through 110, and I have to have Procter go through 115. I mean, come on. Just cool it. If you really need to have the market go up big right now, go buy Salesforce, because that's down big. But don't get your hopes up. We are having a fabulous month. I like markets that go up 5 and then do nothing. I used to say the greatest markets in the world are the stair step. Here and then wait, here, then wait. The worst markets, as I said to you yesterday, are the parabolic markets. You don't want parabolic because then they always crash. This is terrific. It's just the action we want.
So speaking of recharges, we got to talk about Tesla, which is our real money stock of the day.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Now, the investors meeting last night was very interesting. And I thought one thing that I took away,
Yep.
It was very bullish. He seemed very grown up, I do have to say. Congrats, Elon
Wasn't he
Musk.
so different? Wasn't he? He's got a big launch today, apparently. The launches are exciting. I think that is, Catherine, that's the most intelligent read of the situation. He seemed grown up. Not cynical, not snarky, not arrogant. Just, look, we're going to do this, and we hope to do that, and things are looking good. He sounded like an executive. Now, why do we need that? Because he just got chastened by the SEC. We don't want that anymore. We want him focused on cars and rockets. Rockets, not necessarily for a shareholder, but I felt there's been a huge number of great articles in TheStreet about Tesla, and the common theme is the balance sheet. And what he said did not fix the balance sheet.
Well, and that's the one part where I started to feel a little less bullish, because when he started talking about profitability and he said that fast-growing companies, they have more hurdles to profitability.
Right.
But then comparing that to his previous comments that after Q4 2019, Tesla would be profitable, that to me was a little worrying. What did you think?
Well, look, he doesn't play by the traditional rules. But then again, I keep remembering what Jay Leno said, who's a car guy. He said, look, who else has made this number of cars? Who else has done this? So we're about to hear what's known as a clap-off, by the way, where people are going to be clapping for a hero typically. But I think Tesla makes a lot of that it was a new Musk, and the new Musk is going to get the stock going up a little more than it has so far.
Let's look at who's we're clapping for.
We don't know yet.
We don't know yet?
We don't know yet, but it's usually somebody very special, which I like to stand and clap, but it seems like people aren't quite sure. There are always some major domos here who do. I see CNBC has got its cameras there, so I imagine we'll know in a moment. I like this kind of let's say, contemporaneous discovery.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to walk right by us, but it is always exciting. There we go. Now, of course, I'm hopelessly out of it and don't recognize particularly who that may be, but that's my bad.
Well, but it's always
really
nice.
see.
This is one of the benefits of being on the floor and doing this live show, is that we get to see all these wonderful moments at the NYSE.
I know, it's great. I mean, it's always heroes. Always feel good.
All right, so I do want to talk to you about Dave & Buster's earnings.
Sure, they were really disappointing, and they're disappointing on a number of fronts. First was, when Steve King was running the place, I always felt he explained things well. I didn't think they explained the shortfall well. I wasn't really sure why it happened. They talked about weather, which really wasn't all that bad, and calendar shift. But it really just seemed like that people once again, the experiential economy got trumped by some sort of weakness in the economy that we're all trying to figure out about. I mean, this is the Kohl's problem. Like, what happened to Kohl's in May? We're sticking by Kohl's because of its big yield. There were just, I mean, this is what I was talking about. Walmart versus. I mean, Walmart is scale. I felt like Dave & Buster's didn't have scale. There was a question on the conference call about malls and its mall-based stores and the small stores and how are they doing, and they weren't doing well. So if you're in the mall, which is almost every company that's disappointed, right, Gap stores, and you don't have the scale to be able to handle the tariffs, they talked about the tariffs in a negative way, if there's going to be a bump up, then you kind of get what Dave & Buster's did. I would not buy it down here.
One thing that I think was really interesting was the fact that they mentioned Easter, and they blamed Easter. They said that the movement of the Easter holiday this year would kind of hurt them.
Did you buy that? I don't know.
That just felt a little too reaching, almost.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's okay. Sometimes they did say it was just that their own quarter was disappointing, so I'm not going to fault them too much.
No, I agree. But when we last spoke about Dave & Buster's last quarter, you felt very bullish on them.
Well,
do you still feel that way?
Experiential economy, they executed very poorly. I had been a big believer in them. They had been executed. That was under Steve King. I have to rethink with the CEO. Steve King was very good.
All right, Jim, so that's all the time that we have for today. And guys, as he already mentioned, he has his Action Alerts Plus club call later on this morning at 11:30 a.m.
Yes, please get on and watch it. I've got some analysis about the macro, the micro, and the mechanics.
So if you aren't already a member
by the way, just, I'm furiously rewriting it because if the market really gets hammered here, I want to be ready. And I say that because every time I've done a call, the market gets hammered. So I've now decided, listen, just build in the hammering because I'm tired of having to improvise about the hammering. So now I'm actually building in the hammering. Let's see. I'll change it back. I like to do the call right up to the minute. It is done in real time. I don't write it Sunday and then just hope things work out.
I was laughing this morning because we opened down, and then right as I headed down to the NYC, we went positive, and I was like, oh man, I know what Jim's thinking right now.
The call's a jinx.
All right, guys, so that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you for watching us on TheStreet.com and on Facebook, and we are now jumping over to our Action Alerts Plus members-only club video on ActionAlertsPlus.com. Thank you for joining us. I'm Catherine Ross, and we'll see you tomorrow.